So, exercising from 5 to 5:20 am for just 20 minutes will significantly lower your cortisol and, therefore, dial you into your top performance. Fantastic way to start a morning, right? Science has also shown there's a vital link between physical fitness and cognitive ability. The sweating from a powerful workout releases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which supercharges that organ for a winning day.
Some quietude and solitude for yourself before the complexity starts arriving, and your family needs your energy, and all your other responsibilities take over. Tranquility is the new luxury of our society. So, during this segment of your victory hour, savor some stillness. Contemplate how you are living and on who you hope to become. Be thoughtful and intentional on the values you want to be loyal to over the hours ahead of you, and how you wish to behave. Consider what needs to happen for this to be a great day amid the construction of a legendary life.
Writing in a journal for at least a few of the minutes between 5:20 and 5:40 am with the term daily diaries. The key when you do this is just to write. Don't think too much. Simply download your commitments for the hours ahead, record your precious ambitions, and activate your gratitude by listing what's good in your life right now. Please also use your journal as a place to process through any frustrations, disappointments, and resentments in your heart so you let them go. It's miraculous how you'll release toxic emotions and low energy from your system when you write down your suppressed urges, freeing up maximum creativity, premium vitality, and unmatchable performance. I'm just saying, most people stay the same their entire lives. Too frightened to leave the way they operated yesterday. Married to the complacency of the ordinary and wedded to the shackles of conformity while resisting all opportunity for growth, evolution, and personal elevation. So many good souls among us are just so scared they refuse the call on their lives to go out into the blue ocean of possibility where mastery, the dignity of bravery, and the authenticity of audacity await them.
And I know transformation isn't an easy play. Yet, the life of the caterpillar must end for the glory of the butterfly to shine. The old you must die before the best you can be born. You're so smart not to wait until you have ideal conditions to step up to a work world and private life of stainless excellence. Great power is unleashed with a simple start. When you begin to close the loop opened by your utmost aspirations by making them real, a secret heroic force within you makes itself known. Nature notices your effortful actions and then goes ahead and replies to your faithful commitment with a series of unanticipated wins. Your willpower heightens. Your confidence climbs. And your brilliance soars. A year from now, you'll be so happy you began today.
Our culture tells us to pursue titles and trinkets, applause and acclaim, money and mansions. All that's fine, it truly is, so long as you don't get brainwashed into defining your worth as a human being by these things. Enjoy them, just don't get attached to them. Have them, just don't base your identity around them. These are only forms of fake power our civilization programs us to believe we must pursue to be successful and serene. The fact is that should you lose any one of these things, the substitute power you derived from them evaporates. Just vanishes in an instant, revealing itself as the illusion it was.
Because they've reached a level of individual maturity that allowed them to see the futility of spending their days chasing objects that count for nothing at the end. And they had cultivated their characters to such a degree that they no longer had the common need of most to fill the holes within themselves with distractions, attractions, escapes and luxuries. The more their appetite for superficial possessions dematerialized, the more hungry they became for substantial pursuits like honoring their creative vision, expressing their inherent genius and living by a higher moral blueprint. They viscerally understood that being inspirational and masterful and fearless are all inside jobs. And once true power is accessed, external substitutes pale in comparison to the feelings of fulfillment this treasure provides. Oh, and these heavyweights of history, as they discovered their supreme natures, also came to realize that one of the primary aims of a wonderfully crafted life is contribution, impact, usefulness. Helpfulness, what business builders might call unlocking stakeholder value. Like I suggested at my seminar before I fell, to lead is to serve. The philosopher Rumi made the point much more brilliantly than I ever could when he observed, "Give up the drop, become the ocean."
The more one learns, the more one can achieve. Growth is the real sport that the best play, every day. Education truly is inoculation against disruption. And as you become better you will have better, within all arenas of your life. I call this the 2x 3x mindset, to double your income and impact, triple your investment in two core areas: your personal mastery and your professional capability.
Elite production without quiet vacation causes lasting depletion. Rest and recovery isn't a luxury for anyone committed to mastery, it's a necessity. I've taught that principle for many years, yet I forgot it myself, and paid the price at the event. I've also learned that inspiration gets fed by isolation, away from the ceaseless digital diversion and mindless over-communication that dominates the hours of the majority these days. And know too that your natural genius presents itself when you're most joyful. We get our ideas that change the world when we're rested, relaxed, and filled with delight.
Researchers now call this kind of a core behavior that multiplies all your other regular patterns of performing a keystone habit. Wiring it in as a profound neural pathway took some effort, a little suffering along the way, and the strongest commitment I had in me. I'll be honest with you, there were days during the process of automating this routine that I was cranky, days when my head pounded like a jackhammer, and mornings when I just wanted to keep sleeping. But once I locked and loaded getting up at 5 a.m. regularly, my days grew consistently and vastly better than anything I've ever experienced. Protection from distraction is precisely how you need to work if you're serious about dominating your field and winning at your craft. Neuroscientists call this peak mental state we're speaking of, where our perception becomes heightened and our availability to original ideas rises and we access an all-new level of processing power, flow. And rising at 5 a.m. promotes the flow state gorgeously. Oh, and by getting up at before daybreak, while almost everyone around you is asleep, my creativity also soared, my energy definitely doubled, my productivity surely tripled.
The grade of work you offer to the world reflects the strength of the respect you have for yourself. Those with unfathomable personal esteem wouldn't dare send out anything average. It would diminish them too much. If you want to lead your field, Mr. Riley went on, become a performer and person of depth, he reinforced. Commit to being a highly unusual human being instead of one of those timid souls who behave like everyone else, living a sloppy life instead of a magnificent one, a derivative life instead of an original one. The majority of people on the planet today really are trapped in superficiality, he confirmed. Superficial understanding of their power to rise. Superficial intimacy with the possibilities of their potential. Superficial knowledge of the neurobiology of mastery, the daily routines of the world builders and the very ambitions they wish to prioritize the remainder of their lives around. The majority is stuck in vague, imprecise thinking. And vague, imprecise thinking yields vague, imprecise results. A quick example, ask the average person for directions and most of the time, you will discover, their instructions are unclear. That's because the way they think is unclear. Desting the lemon wedges is a fine metaphor to challenge you to consistently make the shift from superficiality to granularity. Real rigor in terms of your approach to not only what you do at work but how you operate in your private life. True depth as it relates to how you think, behave, and deliver. Healthy perfectionism and an unyielding quest to be the best that you are capable of becoming is what I'm suggesting to you two good folks here on this awesome beach. This will give you what the Spellbinder calls a GCA, gargantuan competitive advantage. It's never been so easy to own the sport in business today because so few performers are doing the things required to reach industry dominance. Mastery is a rarity, and people who play at a brilliant level are a scarcity. So, the field is yours. If you show up the way I'm encouraging you to show up. Here's the powerful insight. There's a ton of competition at ordinary, but there's almost none at extraordinary. There's never been such a glamorous opportunity to become peerless because so few people are dedicated to world class in this age of such scattered focus, eroded values and deteriorated faith in ourselves along with the inherent primal power we hold.
Be grateful for every moment. Don't be timid when it comes to your ambitions. Stop wasting time on insanely trivial things. And make it a priority to reclaim the creativity, fire, and potential that is dormant within you. It's so important to do so. Why do you think Plato encouraged us to know thyself? He understood intimately that we have vast reservoirs of ability that absolutely must be accessed and then applied in order for us to lead energetic, joyful, peaceful, and meaningful lives. To neglect this hidden force inside of us is to create a breeding ground for the pain of potential unused, the frustration of fearlessness unembraced, and the lethargy of mastery unexplored. When you're up early and all alone, away from the overstimulation and noise, your attention isn't being fragmented by technology, meetings, and other forces that can limit maximum productivity, mused the billionaire. And so the prefrontal cortex, that part of your brain responsible for rational thinking as well as constant worrying, actually shuts off for a short time. Lovely information, right? That's the transient part of transient hypofrontality. It happens only temporarily. Your non-stop analyzing, ruminating, and stressful overthinking stops. You pause from trying to figure everything out and being so concerned about things that will probably never happen. Your brain waves actually shift from their usual beta to alpha, and sometimes even down into theta state. The solitude, silence, and stillness of daybreak also triggers the production of neurotransmitters like dopamine, the inspirational fuel that serves superproducers so well, and serotonin, the beautiful pleasure drug of the brain. Automatically and naturally, you enter what I described earlier as the flow state.
Please just know that there are 4 interior empires to train, cultivate, and iterate before the sun comes up: mindset, heartset, healthset, and soulset. Together, these 4 private arenas form the foundation of the true primal power that rests inside every human being alive today. Most of us have disowned and discredited this formidable force as we've spent our days pursuing things outside ourselves. But we all have this profound and illustrious capacity within us. And the best time to optimize your 4 interior empires is from 5 to 6 a.m. That's the most special time of the day. Own your morning, and you'll elevate your life, encouraged the tycoon.
When you give yourself the gift of some morning peace away from your busyness, the hardwired capacity of every human brain to access the realm of pure genius becomes activated. The excellent news for you 2 cats is that with the right moves, you can habituate this state of awesome performance so it shows up with absolute predictability.
Sweat more in practice, bleed less in war. Well, the quality of your morning practice determines the caliber of your daily performance. Battles are won in the early light of intense training when no one's watching. Victories occur before warriors walk onto the field. Triumph belongs to the one who prepares the most. It's obvious that if you want to be the best in the world at business or art or chess or as a designer or as a mechanic or as a manager, you need to put in enormous amounts of practice time to advance your expertise.
Heartset is your emotional life. Even with battle-proof beliefs and the distinguished thinking of a world-class mindset, you won't win if your heart is full of anger, sadness, disappointment, resentment, and fear. Just think about it. How can you produce amazing work and realize astonishing results if toxic feelings are weighing you down? It seems like everyone's talking about building a healthy and undefeatable mindset these days. You hear it everywhere. But no one's speaking of heartset or healthset and soulset. All four of these interior empires must be polished beautifully through morning practice for you to know the awe-inspiring power that lurks within you. And it's only when you grow and deepen your relationship with this natural authority that exists at your core that you can ascend into the company of the virtuosos. So many of us know what we should do mentally, but nothing extraordinary ever happens because our emotional life remains a mess. We stay stuck in the past. We haven't forgiven the unforgiven. We've repressed all those unhealthy emotions from all that has hurt us. Sigmund Freud wrote that unexpressed emotions will never die. They are buried alive and they will come forth later in uglier ways. And we wonder why our attempts at positive thinking aren't working. What I'm sharing with you explains why so many self-improvement books don't lead to lasting evolution. And why so few conferences make an enduring difference. Our intellectual intentions are good. We really wish to become brighter producers and better people. But we merely get the information at the level of thought. And then we sabotage our lofty aspirations with the residue of our broken hearts. So, nothing shifts. So, nothing increases. So, nothing transforms. If you want to experience exponential growth and unparalleled performance, you need to dial in a masterful mindset, but also repair, rebuild and reinforce a winning heartset. So that all the dark and toxic emotion from your past pains are cleared out, released and cleansed and purified forever. And so your heart, once hardened by life's trials, reopens in all its noble glory. But I am being serious. Beautiful things happen once you commit seriously to peak fitness and go hard on cheating aging. Just imagine living an extra few decades and staying ultra healthy as you do so. That's another few decades to refine your craft, to grow into an even more influential leader, to produce work that's radical artistry, to compound your prosperity and to build a luminous legacy that will enrich all of humanity. Epic producers and great leaders understand that you just can't rise to mastery without leveraging and then armor plating your vitality. Every day's just dramatically better with some exercise in it. I need to say that again because it's so essential to a life amazingly lived. Every day is just dramatically better with some exercise in it. And few things feel as good as getting uber fit. I guess what I'm offering to you is that healthset is all about dialing in your physical dimension so your brain is operating at its highest level of cognition, and so your energy is igniting, and so your stress is dissolving, and so your joy is expanding. Getting really healthy and ultra fit worked wonders for my business, you know.
Soulset is all about remembering who you truly are. The sages, saints and seers of history all rose at dawn to forge even weightier bonds with the hero we all have at our cores. Insecurity, scarcity, selfishness, and unhappiness are all children of fear. These characteristics were taught to you. They sure aren't your natural state. After we are born, we begin the departure from our spiritual power and descend into more of what this damaged world wants us to be. We become more about acquiring, hoarding, and comparing instead of creating, helping and adventuring. Awake human beings work on elevating their soul set in the serene hours before daybreak, in the sanctuary of solitude, silence, and stillness. Through hope-filled contemplation of the finest version of yourself, without errors in your character. By marvelous meditation on how you wish to show up during the day ahead. By thoughtful consideration of the quickness of life and the suddenness of the exit. And by rich reflections on what gifts you aim to materialize so you leave the world in better shape than you encountered it, on your birth. These are some of the ways you can raise your soul set game.
A few navigational shifts, seemingly irrelevant and infinitesimal, when done consistently over a long voyage, make the difference between ending up in breathtaking Brazil or fantastic Japan. All you need to do to pretty much guarantee a hugely successful and a splendidly meaningful life is own the day. Make those 1% course corrections and improvements over each 24-hour allotment you receive, and these days will slip into weeks and your weeks into months and your months will slip into your years. The spellbinder called such daily personal and professional optimizations microwins. Enhancing anything in your day, ranging from your morning routine to a thought pattern to a business skill to a personal relationship, by only 1% delivers at least a 30%. Yes, 30% elevation only a month from starting. Stay with the program and, in just 1 year, the pursuit you've been focusing on has elevated 365%, at least. The main point I'm making here is concentrate monomaniacally on creating great days and they'll stack into a gorgeous life.
Small daily, seemingly insignificant improvements, when done consistently over time, yield staggering results. It's a term popularized by social psychologist Angela Duckworth, who studied elite performers in the fields of business, education, the military, and sports. She found that what makes the most successful achievers so great isn't their inherent talent but their levels of commitment, discipline, resilience, and perseverance. Grit is her word to describe these traits. For those showing up as victims each morning, and every day, the future will be very hard, dangerous and frightening because they won't know what hit them. And they'll be absolutely unprotected to deal with the environmental, economic, and societal upheaval that is coming. Yet for the dedicated minority who have habituated a battle-proofed morning routine to defend their gifts, cultivated heroic personal restraint and developed a bulletproofed character through the rigorous training of their muscles of self-discipline, the times ahead will be phenomenally rich, harmonious, and ultra-productive. Those who have armored themselves against the turbulence on its way by installing a world-class and carefully granulated morning ritual will actually be in a position to leverage all the messiness into humongous opportunity, and transform all the confusion into a supreme sense of clarity, genius, and calmness that allows them to win.